Hi, my Taurus friends. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Teri Hunter. I'm an intuitive astrologer, and today I want to talk about some significant planetary activity that's going to directly influence you as a Taurus. For the purposes of clarity, these videos are based on whole sign Western astrology. I like to look at the rising sign. When I talk about the houses, this is going to be based on Taurus rising, but I would also check Taurus moon, Taurus sun. And if you have a stellium, that's 3 or more personal planets in one sign or house, you're going to want to check that as well, because that indicates a soul's intention for an experience within this lifetime. And that experience offers opportunities for evolution. So here, what I'm going to talk about first is I'm going to go sort of chronologically. I'm going to talk about Saturn entering Pisces, Pluto entering or dipping its toe into Aquarius, Jupiter entering the sign of Taurus in May, and then the nodes are going to change into the Aries Libra axis. So I'm going to go over what house this is going to affect Taurus rising, moon, sun, and stellium. So let's start off with Saturn in Pisces. This is going to be in your 11th house. So the first thing I want to say about Saturn is Saturn naturally is the co-ruler of the 11th house. So there is some cooperation within that dynamic. And how I see it as an intuitive astrologer is that Saturn really doesn't care about the lane you choose, doesn't care about what you want to create, the relationships you want, what you want to experience. What Saturn wants is for you to be enduring, dutiful, to be morally obligated to your endeavor and to stick with it. So here, when we see Saturn entering Pisces, we see this sort of idea that we're going to look at, am I willing to be self-disciplined? Am I willing to be tenacious? Am I willing to move forward and continue on without necessarily seeing results right away or seeing results in the 3D world? Saturn is a builder. It constructs. It also rules how people view me in the public, how people see me. It rules your profession in many ways. It rules government, authority, restriction, responsibility, corporate structures, big corporate structures like Starbucks and like Cisco systems, big financial banking systems, any large traditional structures. That's where I want to put it. It also rules bones and teeth and history and old age, meaning the aging process. Now we have Pisces. Pisces is compassionate. Pisces is very spiritual. It's very empathetic. It's very creative. It rules things like poetry and photography and filmography and meditation and time we spend alone in the bedroom dreaming, literally sleeping. It also rules hospitals and mental hospitals and research and escapism, illusion, addiction. Pisces is so compassionate that I believe sometimes it's overwhelmed by what it feels in the outside world. So I think Saturn in Pisces gives an opportunity to find structure within my spirituality, to maybe remove a little bit of the emotional fluidness of Pisces and bring in more of the reality from a human basis, bringing it more into the 3D world, being able to stand on it with stronger legs is the way I want to put it. Pisces is ruled by Neptune. Neptune rules the seas. It rules under the seas. So there's a certain amount of things that you can't see with your eyes. You only feel the current beneath you. So therefore, Pisces rules my intuition, my connection to my ancestors. And Saturn rules my history. So here, in your 11th house, I think this is for Taurus, really more applying to your hopes and your dreams, what you want to experience in a way that is broad and open and for the world to see, to witness your evolution is the way I want to put it. We've had Uranus, which naturally rules the 11th house, going through your first house, breaking up old structures once again that aren't serving you, and the North Node has been there as well. So there's been this real expansion and awareness of your history, and where your history may have been kind of setting the tone for how you perceive the future. And all this gets to shift. So for me, I think that what's going to happen is the aspects of Neptune that are purifying, that cleanse, that refine, are going to offer a conscious Taurus human an opportunity to clear the fog, because your intention, your focus, your willingness to look at your hopes and dreams not as something that is elusive, but something that's very concrete. So I think this is important on a personal level. I also want to offer this because Pisces rules the water in the body. And so we're going to see it rules the blood, it rules mucus, it rules the lymphatic system, and in many ways, the immune system. So what Taurus may start to do is to go back to historic ways, traditional ways, Saturn, of healing your body, really kind of coming at it from Taurus rules food. So you may find yourself very interested in studying old ways of balancing the body through nutrition and through food, even through meditation or a combination thereof. All of this is on a personal level for Taurus, rising moon, sun, and stelliums. Now, let's look at what Saturn in Pisces may bring on the world stage or in the environment around you. I believe that what we're going to see is the potential of Saturn bringing in more rules and regulations when it comes to how we address our body, our immune system. We've seen in previous years the requirement for vaccinations in order to travel or to work. So I think we're going to see maybe some of those coming into play. And at the same time, I think this is going to influence Pluto's transit, or its toe tipping into Aquarius before it goes back into Capricorn, because I think this is going to really bring an illumination and a call for individuality, and to be seen as an individual, to be able to make individual choices about our body. I also think this is going to reveal information that we may not have been aware of, or it was information that had been dispensed in such a superficial way that we never really paid attention to it. I'm kind of going with the idea that there are certain things that are added into our foods. There are certain things in medicines that have side effects. There are certain ways that we educate and certain ways we run our financial institutions that may not really support our thriving in the world. And so I believe these are going to bubble to the surface, which is going to bring an illumination about imbalance and an opportunity to, again, a release of toxicity, both emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. I believe on kind of an exciting level in the 3D world, I think Saturn in Pisces is going to bring exploration of our seas. It's going to go into looking into exploring and maybe unearthing old structures, pirate ships, the Titanic, I don't know, old Methylonian structures. I watch a lot of Ancient Aliens, so I think this is really going to come into play. There is the potential that we could see structures being built in the oceans specifically to research the depths that man has not reached before. I watch a lot of Nova. There's a lot of creatures that we never knew existed that live at the depths that man cannot sustain in any sort of diving gear. So I think we're going to start to see that. And we may see the evidence of ancient civilizations and ancient cultures that support extraterrestrial life, and that we really are not alone on this earth. And again, this is sort of the crossover of Pluto dipping its toe into Aquarius. So ultimately, for you in your 11th house, Taurus, is an opportunity for you to put structure into your spiritual beliefs, to start to anchor them into the 3D world, world so that you really start to look at the idea that my emotional body matters, how I feel about a situation matters, what my story and my history is matters. And now am I going to victimize myself to it, or am I going to be victorious over it by extracting the wisdom it offers me and then putting it where it belongs, in the toolbox? And when I need that historic event or situation or life-changing dynamic, I will pull it out and refer to it again to extract wisdom, or will I hang my hat on it and allow it to anchor me into an old story that doesn't really work for me? So this is an exciting time, and I think Saturn really wants to be a benevolent, loving father versus the Cronus that we've traditionally referred to him as. Now we have Pluto going into your 10th house. Pluto can completely change how you are seen, revolutionize how you are seen in the public eye, your career, and it could even bring a marriage. That's another change of status in the public eye. It could bring motherhood. But here, I want to offer it this way. Pluto is going to speed everything up when it moves into Aquarius. It will stay at the critical 0 degree for its toe tip into Aquarius before it goes back into Capricorn. And then ultimately, the beginning of 2024, it will start its long journey through Aquarius. So this is an opportunity for you to really revolutionize what you want in the way of your career, to maybe start to think of the future in a way that is not about throwing away old structures, but rather building upon those old structures to renovate your life. The thing that's interesting about the last couple of times that Pluto was in Aquarius, in the 18th century, Pluto was in Aquarius from 1778 to 1798, and we saw the Industrial Revolution begin, and we saw the French Revolution, and Pluto moved into Aquarius on the heels of the American Revolution. We also see Pluto in Aquarius in the 12th century through the 14th century, and this is where we saw the Knights Templars. They organized their order, their fraternity, for lack of a better term, to protect those that were wanting to pilgrimage to the Holy Land, to worship and pray. And then they went on to build financial systems around the world and became so powerful that the King of France had to exterminate them in the 12th century. And so Pluto was having its field day in Aquarius during this period of time. So it's very interesting. Pluto naturally rules control, it rules power, it rules other people's money, it rules that which cannot be seen. It rules the genitals as well as the excretion of toxins. It rules a deep psychology. So here, I think Pluto is going to offer us a liberation, a rebellion against the psychology that could potentially be forced upon us through mass media or through old structures. And now we're going to get an opportunity to start to look at things more individualistically, but yet that unique expression feeds the collective in a way that supports its evolution to thrive. Aquarius by nature gives light to humanitarian endeavors, civil rights issues, the misuse of information. Pluto will bring that up. There's a strong Aquarian Uranian influence here because Pluto is in Aquarius. So I think that Pluto's influence over the deep psychology of how we operate is also going to take us into places where we start to really implement the 12 divine laws of the universe and really start to anchor in and structure in the idea that our thoughts are things, and our focused thoughts co-create our experience. And so those of us that are conscious creators or aware of this will start to live lives that appear magical, appear out of this world, Pluto and Aquarius, to those that are still hanging on to old structures. It's going to offer new platforms of expression, and those that are standing in awareness that we are all one are going to really see them finding their tribe, starting to see the law of attraction, bringing people and energies to them that will support their feeling connected. Aquarius can feel a little disconnected in some respects, a little alien, a little exiled. And here I think it's going to start to transform that. On a world stage, on a, on a more environmental place, I think we're going to see Pluto really giving us a glimpse into the acceleration of technology and the digital world in general. I think we're going to start to see flying cars. We're going to start to see business operated in a holographic way where people are projecting themselves into meetings. I know one of my clients told me that Zoom is already working on technology to develop that. When Pluto is in Aquarius and then Uranus moves into Gemini in July, we'll get a glimpse of it when Uranus dips its toe into Gemini in July through November 2025. We're going to see a change in technology and a complete reversal of how things were. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw paper money completely go away, and we'll see all digital money and digital financing. And we're also going to see a lot more technology taking care of mundane tasks. We saw a glimpse of this when we started to use ATM machines, automated banking to make our deposits. And then we had the Roomba, vacuuming our floors. So we're going to see a lot more robot technology doing maybe more repetitive jobs where humans used to do that. And then, okay, now we have Jupiter moving into Taurus's first house, May 16th, 2023 through May 24th, 2024. Huge expansion of self, huge opportunity to make money at your own endeavors, your self-reliance. We're going to see things, a real pull towards sustainable products, sustainable services, or at least services that support sustainability. We're going to get an opportunity to re-examine the influences, because Jupiter is about our belief system and what our beliefs represent in the way of our confidence and our self-worth. So I think, when Jupiter has been in your 12th house, I think this is giving you an opportunity to go into those ancestral patterns and now take them into the first house of self as you move yourself forward, give yourself your voice. I think there's an opportunity for an expansion of your income or your resources for income, your ability and willingness to co-create. I think we're going to see a real, in general, people wanting to get in touch with all things Taurian, comfort within our homes. And it's not going to be about labels and how other people perceive our comfort. It's going to be how we perceive our comfort. So I think this is going to be a real change from a more material dynamic to a more grassroots feeling. So I think this is super exciting. And then Taurus, you're going to get a little bit of relief as the nodes move out of your sign and into the Aries Libra axis in July. I'm going to be doing videos on all these aspects in more definition, but as we move in through the year, as we see these big planetary shifts that are going to make big planetary or energetic ripples, we can prepare for them. I know that for me personally, the last two new moons in 2022 fell on my Jupiter and on my Saturn. And this has really expanded my enthusiasm for producing videos and for moving my own personal perception of astrology forward. I felt an excitement I didn't feel up until those new moons. And we have a series of moons that are both full and new that are offering us illumination and liberation as well. So there's a lot of things being threaded here. So I think this is super exciting for you. Jupiter is in your first house, and the nodes will move into your 12th and 6th house, meaning Aries North node will move into your 12th house, and Libra South node will move into your 6th house. And this may very much represent how you take care of yourself in your mental health, allowing yourself to be stressed or not stressed. And I want to offer it this way because a lot of what I see here for Taurus is an opportunity to blossom financially, through your individuality and your newfound willingness to be a little bit more flexible and to garnish the wisdom of your experiences. So here, when I look at the 12th and the 6th house and the nodal axis, I feel like Aries in the 12th house here now is giving me an opportunity to be more individualized from my ancestral story and to connect more to my dreams. And with the North Node in my 6th house, it makes me feel like I want to expand that. The North Node has a Jupiter energy. And so this is giving me an opportunity to take this into the service I provide for others, into my work environment, which capitalizes on Jupiter being in your 2nd house of skills that you make money at. So this is fabulous for Taurus. I'm really excited. So that's it for your brief yearly look ahead. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please like, please subscribe, please share. I will be back on January 8th with the weekly live broadcast where we do our angel scopes. That's getting the angels' advice for traversing the transits of the week ahead. And if you'd like to book a reading with me, I am available. My information is below in the description. So Taurus, welcome to 2023. It's an exciting year. Again, my name is Teri Hunter. I'm an intuitive astrologer. And until next time, peace out.